Then we can go to the name of Amida Buddha is the great practice, which is topic 57, in the sense that we already explained, Nembutsu is not our practice, because to say the name of Amida works because of Amida, not of something that can be found within our deluded personalities. So Nembutsu is not our practice, but is the great practice, in the sense that Nembutsu works because it is the manifestation of Amida Buddha. In this sense, Nembutsu is the great practice. Nembutsu works because Amida Buddha placed all his merits. But you can continue with this, Kosho Sensei.
I should go because there is a very detailed explanation of this. Yes. Should I go over this? Okay.
Yes, please go to explain in more detail topic 57. The name of Amida Buddha is the great practice.
Yes, Sensei. That would be found in page 135 in the Meaning of Faith and Nembutsu book. Yes, the English version. Okay, yes, so basically what Yosho Sensei says is that the Nembutsu is not our little practice of deluded sentient beings, but it's actually Amida Buddha's manifestation of his perfect karmic merits. You know, so Dharmakara Bodhisattva accumulated merits over eons and eons of perfect Buddhist practice. Yes, so he amassed lots of karmic power and riches, you could say, to use the analogy of gold. You know, so he invested all of those transcendental merits in his name, Amida or Amitabha. You see. So when we say the name, we are actually taking refuge in Amida Buddha himself and in his karmic merits. You see, it's like when you board a plane. The plane doesn't work because you enter into the plane and you are so great. You know, it works because of the ingenuity of the engineers. It works because of the pilot. It works because of the electricity and the fuel. And in this case, Amida Buddha is like the captain or the pilot and the creator of the plane, which is the primal vow. So everything works because of Amida Buddha. The only thing that Amida Buddha is asking of us is, okay, would you enter the plane? And I will take you to the pool, and that's it. So when you enter the plane, you just enjoy the ride and you thank the pilot. Amida Buddha. Basically, that's it. Okay. So now we will see many beautiful passages, many great passages in which Shinran and all of the Jodo Shinshu masters quote the larger sutra and many sacred texts. Okay, so here in page 135, we find the name of Amida Buddha is the great practice. In chapter 2 of his Kyogyo Shinsho, which is Shinran's most extensive work, he says the great practice. He defines it. What is the great practice? Master Shinran says, when I humbly contemplate the going forth aspect of Amida's merit transference, I realize that there are great practice and great faith. The great practice is to call the name of the Tathagata of unhindered light, Amida Buddha. This practice contains all good and roots of virtue and is perfectly accomplished and most efficacious in bringing about liberation. It is the treasure sea of merits and true suchness, ultimate reality. For this reason, it is called great practice. The practice comes from the great vow of great compassion, the 17th vow, which is called the vow that the name shall be glorified by all Buddhas. Yes, it is also the vow that the name shall be praised by all Buddhas, and the vow that the name shall be lauded by all Buddhas. Further, it can be called the vow of accomplishing the going forth aspect of merit transference. Going forth where? Going to the Pure Land, you know? And also the vote of the Nembutsu chosen from among many practices. Okay? So in other words, from among all of the myriads of practices that Amida Buddha could have chosen, yes, to make sentient beings, to cause sentient beings to be born in his Pure Lands, he chose the Nembutsu of faith according to the primal vow. Okay? So this is the design of Amida Buddha. Okay? So when you board the plane of the primal vow, there is strong instructions. You know, you don't enter the plane the way you want. You enter the way that it is instructed by the creators of the plane and the experts. So here Amida Buddha designed the primal vow, and the primal vow has very simple instructions. Entrust yourself to Amida Buddha, say the name of Amida Buddha, and wish to be born in Amida Buddha's Pure Land. You see? So if you do that, yes, then you are following the Nembutsu that is chosen among all of the myriads of practices in the Buddha Dharma, yes, and even of the myriads of practices to be born in the Pure Land, because there are also the 19th and 20th vow of mixed practices of meditative and non-meditative practices. Yes, but the direct way to enter the center of the Pure Land is through the chosen primal vow and the chosen practice of the Nembutsu of faith, which is actually, as Joshua Sensei says, a non-practice. It's not a practice, this is actually you become a beneficiary of the merits of Amida Buddha. You see? Then Shinran continues. He says, concerning the vow that the name shall be praised by all Buddhas, the larger sutra states. And here, of course, all Buddhas in the universe work like a team, because they are part of the same transcendental Dharmakaya, so they work as a team. And all Buddhas want us to say the name of Amida Buddha. That is why you see in many tankas in Tibet and also in China, also Avalokiteshvara wearing a crown, Amida Buddha, Tara, Amida Buddha, Padmasambhava, always with Amida Buddha on her head. Why? It's because Amida Buddha is superior to them in skillful means. Okay? So all Buddhas are the same in the sense that they have the same nirvana. However, each Buddha has a specific method that may be more effective or more universal. And the most universal and the most effective method of them all is the primal vow, because it's the only teaching that can save both the foolish and the wise on the basis of equality. So that is why all Buddhas in the universe praise Amida Buddha's vow and praise Amida Buddha's name, you see? Then he says, quoting the larger sutta, this is Shinran, he says, if when I attain Buddhahood, innumerable Buddhas in the lands of the 10 directions should not all praise and glorify my name, the name of Amida, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. The larger sutra also states, when I attain Buddhahood, my name shall be heard throughout the 10 directions. Should there be any place where it is not heard, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. The sharp sword for cutting asunder our ignorance, its effects, and the karmic cause of suffering in samsara is Amida's name. With a single utterance of the name, all our evils are removed. In other words, when you say the name of Amida Buddha in faith, it could be compared like when you see, like imagine like a basement, yes, has been in the dark for 1,000 years, but if the light comes, it's not like the light has to ask for permission from the darkness and say, okay, you have been here for 1,000 years, may I come, may I enter? No, the light enters the basement and the darkness disappears as if had never existed in the first place. In the same way, once we entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha, all our karmic evils becomes sterilized, in the sense that our evil karma becomes incapable of reproducing itself into another life, which is actually the most dangerous aspect of evil karma. It's its ability to reproduce. You see, because okay, we have one life in samsara, but if our evil karma continues to exist, then it will propel us to be reborn in samsara again and again and again. See, but when you say the Nembutsu of faith, yes, and you say, I entrust myself to Amida Buddha, I want to be born in the Pure, and I say his name, and you are assured of being born in the Pure, and you receive faith, which is Shinjin in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, then your evil karma becomes sterilized, and you are completely assured of being born in the Pure Land from that moment onwards. Okay? Here Yosho Sensei explains it. He says, Amida's name has in itself the power to cut our evil karma, which keeps us prisoners in samsara. In the last passage quoted above, the name of Amida is first mentioned as the cause of liberation, and then the utterance of the name, that is Namo Amida Butsu, or Namo Amitabha Buddha, yes, or whatever. But the thing is to say the name of Amida, yes? This means that the utterance of the name of Amida Buddha has the effect of liberating us from birth and death, because the name is the power of Amida, not because we say it, okay? So remember the analogy of the plane. We enter the plane, but the plane doesn't work because we enter into the plane, Okay, the plane works because it has been created to work. The primal vow and the name of Amida Buddha works because it has the power of Amida Buddha, not because we say it. We are only the beneficiaries of the power of Amida Buddha. We are being benefited. We are being saved by Amida Buddha, not because we say the name. You see? So we rely on the name. The name doesn't rely on us. You see? It's the other way around. So this aspect is extremely important. Of course, we must say the name in order to submit ourselves to Amida Buddha's name and his power invested in the name. But this does not mean that the name itself works because of us. So remember, the name doesn't work because of our merits. you see? We don't have to say the name in a specific yogic posture. We don't have to say it in meditative state. We can say it even in the toilet. We can say it buying groceries. We can say it, I don't know, watching a movie, doing stupid things. The name doesn't care about our states of minds or emotional states. The name works because of Amida Buddha. This is very important, okay? We have here another passage by Master Shinran in his Jodo Shinshu, chapter 2. He says, what is more, our Buddha Amida encompasses beings with his name. And so, as we hear it with the ears and recite it with the lips, boundless exalted merits enter into our hearts and become the seeds of Buddhahood forever. They instantaneously remove heavy karmic evil that would entail transmigration for 100 million kalpas, or eons, cosmic cycles, thereby making us realize highest enlightenment. We truly know that the name possesses much merit, not little good. You see? So of course, the name of Amida Buddha has the necessary fuel, yes, to liberate us from samsara. You could compare the name of Amida Buddha. This is an analogy that I think Yosho Sensei gave us many times in his books. Imagine like a rocket, So the rocket has to fight the pull of gravity, like in those NASA launches of rockets, So it needs lots of fuel, especially to escape the gravitational pull of the Earth, gravity, In this sense, we are also pulled towards the lower realms and towards samsara by the strong power of evil karma, the strong power of delusion, of attachment, greed, anger, We are attached to that. So in order for us to escape through our own power, it would be very difficult. It will be it's like a kid trying to jump to a mountain, or trying to jump to the moon. It's impossible, yes, okay? But however, if we board the rocket of Amida Buddha, it has all the necessary fuel and power to escape the gravitational pull of samsara, and we can go to the Pure Land. So we can go to the Pure Land not because we say the name, but because the name of Amida Buddha has the necessary power to take us outside of samsara. It has the necessary strength and power, okay? And this is a very useful analogy, I think. Also, Master Shinran said, the great practice is to call the name of the Tathagata of unhindered light, and non-practice for those who say it. And then he says here, I think this is in the Tanisho. Yes, the Tanisho. This is a very important passage. He says, the Nembutsu for its practitioners is not a practice or a good act, since it is not performed out of one's own designs or calculations. It is not a practice. Since it is not good done through one's own calculation, it is not a good act, because it arises wholly from other power, and it is free of self-power. For the practicer, it is not a practice or a good act. So this is very important, no? A practice in Buddhism would be to cultivate wisdom, to cultivate morality, to cultivate meditation, and to try to use our own calculation, our own designs. But in our case, we are only boarding the ship of Amida Buddha's primal vow, We don't have any say on the designs of the ship. Yes, the ship is not working because we boarded. The ship works because it was designed by a great engineer. In this case, the primal vow was created by the design or calculation of Amida Buddha, It was created, it's a method created by an enlightened being, So Amida Buddha created the destination, the Pure Land, and he also created the method to arrive there, okay? So we only listen to the instructions of the expert, and we just say what we follow with the instructions of his method. Yes, we are not smart, We cannot escape samsara on our own. So we follow the instructions of a Buddha that thought about saving ordinary sentient beings like us. And we just entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha, and we go to the Pure Land because of his own design and his own goodness. So this practice of Nembutsu doesn't include any kind of goodness from our part, any kind of wisdom from our part, or any kind of effort, So we cannot call it a practice. When some people tell us, okay, you are a Buddhist school of Jodo Shinshu, what do you practice? We say practice Nembutsu, but actually we are only saying this not to get into arguments with other schools. But actually, if we are technical about it, then Nembutsu is not a practice. Yes, we only have faith in a Buddha, and we say the name out of gratitude for having been saved as we are. Yes, so it is not a practice. It's only gratitude, devotion, faith. Yes, and the Nembutsu as expression of this devotion and faith. But the Nembutsu is not a practice. How could it be our practice? Everything is done by Amida Buddha. The Nembutsu, and then Shinran says, the Nembutsu of Amida's primal vow is not our practice. It is not our good. It is simply keeping the name of Amida. It is the name that is good. The name that is the practice, you know? When we speak of practice, we mean doing good. The primal vow is clearly the Buddha's promise. When we have understood this, we see that the vow is not our good, nor is it our practice. Hence, we speak of other power. Okay, so everything works because of Amida Buddha. And this is the miracle of Jodo Shinshu. The miracle of the primal vow is that everything works because of Amida Buddha. We don't have to do anything. The only thing we have to do is to rely on Amida Buddha and to forget our so-called merits. Our good and evil have nothing in common with the promise of the primal vow. Amida Buddha is saying, do you want to go to the Pure Land or not? We say yes. He's not asking, are you good? He's not asking, are you wise? You know, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that we accept Amida Buddha's offer, Amida Buddha's promise and invitation. You see? There are other passages here, page 139. This is from Master Shinran, also Kyogyo Shinshu, chapter 2. He says, we now clearly know that the Nembutsu is not a self-powered practice performed by ordinary people or sages. Hence, it is called practice not to be transferred towards the Buddha. Okay, this needs some explanation here. Remember that the 19th vow and the 20th vow, they are provisional vows. They are called the self-power within other power, in the sense that these people, these practitioners of, for example, the Chinese Pure Land schools or Tibetan Buddhism, who also want to be born in the Pure Land, because Amida Buddha is all over the place. You know, Amida Buddha is synonymous with Mahayana and Vajrayana. However, they want to enter into the Pure Land because they think that some percentage, like 50% at least of the quota, let's say, of the fee to enter into the Pure Land has to be put by themselves. So they need to put this 50% of their karmic merits, because they think that otherwise they won't be able to go to the Pure Land. They think that Amida Buddha is asking them to do all of these practices. And in this sense, every time they do, for example, if they are vegetarian, yes, and I can tell you this from experience because I used to practice this, yes. If you are vegetarian, then you say, okay, Amida Buddha, I was such a good boy, such a good guy, and I will transfer this merit, and I want to be born in the Pure Land. I dedicate this merit towards going to the Pure Land. Or if maybe you save some life, maybe you find a little animal in the street, and you take care of the animal. And that is good that you do that. Of course, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. But these people, the problem with these guys is that they think that this will increase the chances for them to go to the Pure Land. So they transfer this. So say, Amida Buddha, I saved this life. Yes, I transfer this goodness towards being in the Pure Land. I deserve to be born in the Pure Land. Yeah? This is the attitude that they have. Every time they do something good, they do some meditation, they recite a Mahayana Sutra, they think this will increase their chances to be born in the Pure Land. However, here Shinran is saying that the ultimate meaning of the 18th vow, which is the direct entrance to the center of the Pure Land, is to understand that the Nembutsu is not a self-powered practice to be transferred towards the Buddha. We cannot transfer the merits of Amida Buddha, because for a person that understands the primal vow, we understand that the primal vow is what has the merit. The name of Amida Buddha already contains all of the necessary merits for us to exit samsara. You know, faith in Amida Buddha and say the name in faith, you know, in accordance with the primal vow, has all of the necessary fuel, has all of the necessary power to take us outside of samsara. Amida Buddha doesn't need our help to do anything. Yes, the only thing that Amida Buddha is asking us is, okay, will you accept my offer? Will you accept my invitation? He's not asking you for money. He's not asking you for practices. He's not asking you for goodness or for evil or whatever. He's just saying, do you accept or do you not accept? You see, so we don't transfer the merits. Actually, the merits are transferred to us. So it's the other way around. You see? So actually, those practitioners of the 19th and 20th vow, of course, they exist because Amida Buddha knew beforehand that many people would not be able to accept such an easy and direct path. So he created the 19th and the 20th vow for those people who are not karmically ready. Yes. However, the thing that they get wrong is that they think that they have to dedicate merits to Amida Buddha. But actually, it is the other way around. Amida Buddha is the one dedicating merits to us. He's the one calling us. 10 kalpas ago, he has been calling us and he has been inviting us to the Pure Land, and we want to dedicate merits to him. It doesn't make any sense. It's Amida Buddha who is making the transference of merits, of his perfect merits to us, and we only rely and let ourselves be carried by Amida Buddha, the same way that a baby relies on his mother, you know, to be fed, to be taken care of, you know? So as Joshua Sensei explains here, it is a delusion to think that we accumulate merits by the recitation of Amida Buddha's name, which we transfer to birth in his Pure Land. The merits belong to the name, not to the recitation. Yes. Many schools in China, they also say the name of Amida Buddha, and they want to use this for personal benefit. I want my daughter to get married. I want to have money. I want to be liberated from disasters. I want to have a long life. None of that, absolutely none of that is mentioned in the primal vow. So they are not saying the name in accordance with the primal vow. They are saying it because they think they think that they can use the name of Amida Buddha for their own agenda.
In the primal vow, Amida Buddha said, entrust to me and say my name and wish to be born in my land. So he actually says, entrust to me and say my name in order that you go to the Pure Land. So the goal is to go to the Pure Land. That's why you should entrust to me and say my name, says Amida Buddha. He doesn't say, entrust to me, say my name, and wish that you escape this or that problem, or marry your daughter, or feel good, or so and so. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry for interruption.
No, that's okay, of course. And in China, there are many people who do this. No, they say the name of Amida Buddha like a luck charm, like a charm of luck. Like it's good to positive energy to say the name of Amida Buddha, but it's not the way it works. Actually, if you read the primal vow, as Joshua Sensei said so clearly, is to escape samsara and to become a Buddha in Amida Buddha's Pure Land, which is infinitely more important than any personal agenda that we may have. Yes, as Joshua Sensei here points out, we say Namo Amida Bu in faith, we simply obey Amida Buddha's name, and we naturally come in accordance with the primal vow, in which Amida Buddha said, we should have faith in him, say his name while wishing to be born in his Pure Land. So again, Amida's name is the great practice because all of the infinite merits of his own practices over many kalpas are invested in his name. You see? This is very important for us to understand. The name of Amida Buddha is not a magical spell. You know? The name of Amida Buddha contains all of the karmic merits that were accumulated by the perfect practice of Dharmakara Bodhisattva. It's not like Dharmakara Bodhisattva was like a Harry Potter magician. He said, since bim bam boom, and the Pure Land was born, and everything became like perfect, and the name is suddenly now powerful. No, Amida Buddha had to work. Dharmakara Bodhisattva had to work a lot. Yes, to create his Pure Land. It is stated in the sutras, and we should be grateful for that, okay? But everything works in accordance with the law of cause and effect. Yes, the name of Amida Buddha has the power that Amida Buddha invested in him, in this name. You see? So all of his sincere aspirations to save all sentient beings, that is Amida Buddha's aspirations, Amida Buddha's enlightened karma and power, and all of his transcendental merits and virtues are there in his name. You see, this is another beautiful passage, and I think this is from Master Honen. No, sorry, this is also from Master Shinran. He says, Amida Buddha, in his causal state of Bodhisattva, established the vows. What is the causal state? It means when the Bodhisattva is on the last bhumis, or in the last stages before enlightenment, they start to plan what kind of Pure Land they will have, what kind of Sambhogakaya body, or what kind of method they will use to save sentient beings once they become enlightened. This is the causal state of a bodhisattva. So holding fast to his aspiration, Dharmakara, who would become Amida Buddha, who has become Amida Buddha, he accomplished the practices. He entertained compassion to save sentient beings for dust modes kalpas. That means many kalpas. So there is no place, even as small as a mustard seed, where he did not abandoned his life for their sake. He embraced and guided all, without exception, with the 6 perfections or paramitas of compassion and wisdom. He never failed to respond to the need of the people by giving away his possessions and his own self. When conditions matured, his practices were fulfilled and his virtues were perfected, and thus he all at once perfectly realized the 3 Buddha bodies, no? The Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. We can talk about that, yes, if Jose has some questions about that. And the myriad merits manifest themselves in the 4 characters, Amida Butsu, or Amitabha, or Amitofo. No? The ultimate reality of Amida Buddha is Dharmakaya, beyond form or suchness, yes, which is beyond thought, beyond the power of words to describe, as well as his manifestation for the sake of saving sentient beings, his glorious body of skillful means, which is the body that Amida Buddha has in his Pure Land, yes, and is described very beautifully in the sutras, has some incredible features, are included, and all of this power of the Sambhogakaya and Dharmakaya is included in the name, and is represented by the name, as Shinran Shonin explained. He says, it is the treasure sea of merits, of true suchness, ultimate reality. For this reason, it is called the great practice. The 10 repetitions of the name arise from the unsurpassed faith by taking as object the name of Amida Tathagata, of a glorious body of skillful means that comprises immeasurable merits that are true and pure, you see. So this is why in the true Mahayana teaching and also the true Vajrayana, we don't accept the stupid teaching that everything is empty. You see, this is not true, okay? We can only say that Amida Buddha is empty in the sense that Amida Buddha's name is free from greed, free from attachment, free from samsaric phenomena, free from imperfection. But it is full with the power, or filled with the power of Amida Buddha, you see? So the name of Amida Buddha is not like any other name. Like you say John, Juan, or Francisco, or whatever, yes? The name of Amida Buddha has power, and this power is real and is pure, yes? Okay? So when other Buddhists say that everything is empty, we should say, okay, samsara is empty, but do not touch the name of the Buddhas, because the name of the Buddhas, and especially the name of Amida Buddha, is not empty. It is only free or empty of samsara, but it's actually filled with immediate qualities, yes? It is filled with the power to save beings. So we cannot say that it's empty on itself. It is only empty of samsaric phenomena, but it is not empty on itself. It's not like any other name, Many Buddhists have fallen into this wrong understanding, But here, Master Shinran is opening our eyes, and he's saying, yes, that it is the merits of true suchness, ultimate reality. So the name of Amida Buddha comes from his Dharmakaya, comes from ultimate reality, you see, and comes from the name of Tathagata, of a glorious body of skillful means. It all comes from his vows, expressed in his glorious body, in his Pure Land. Okay, so we cannot say that Amida Buddha's name is empty. As Yosho Sensei says in many of his examples, it's like a person who is sleeping and he hears the voice of the real world calling from outside. Everything in the dream of this person having a nightmare or whatever, yes, is false because it's inside his own head. Yes. However, the name comes from outside. We cannot call this name false. Actually, this name is the only thing that doesn't belong to the dream. Yes. And once we wake up in the realm of ultimate reality and in the true reality. Yes. And actually, our only connection with this world of awakening, of the world of the awakened ones, is the name of Amida Buddha. So the name of Amida Buddha is really, really precious. Yes. And we should never call the name of Amida Buddha empty on itself. It is not empty on itself. It's actually filled with compassion, wisdom, and the power to save all sentient beings. See? Of course, here Joshua Sensei always gives his a very useful example of the plane. He says the name is like the most powerful and fastest, safest plane, which can take you to your destination. Amida invites all sentient beings to come aboard that plane, and some do indeed come with great faith and in the construction of the plane and pilot. Can we say that the plane is able to fly and take us to the destination because we come aboard and we fly with it? Does the plane fly because of us? This would be similar with saying that the Nembutsu is our own practice, Or is the plane flying and will certainly reach its destination because it was made by the greatest constructor in the world and is flight by the best pilot? Amida Buddha. So in other words, Amida Buddha's primal vow and his name, they work because of Amida Buddha, because of the ingenuity and the wisdom of Amida Buddha. Okay, so Amida Buddha is the pilot and the creator of the ship of the primal vow, if you want to use that analogy. Okay, so the common sense truth that the plane flies because of the genius of the constructor and pilot, and not because of us passengers, is the same with saying that the Nembutsu is not our own practice, even if we say it with our lips. Okay, so the fact that we say the name with our lips doesn't make it our practice. The source of Amida Buddha's name is in the Pure Land, is in Amida Buddha. Okay, okay. There are other passages here. This section is very extensive because this topic is very important. Actually, it's very important for us to have this very clear to us, crystal clear. And actually, this is the true Jodo Shinshu path. We don't play smart. We don't want to use the name for our own agendas. We understand the primal vow, and we understand many things that even most Pure Land Buddhists fail to understand. Is that everything works because of Amida Buddha, not because we are smart, not because we are good. Yes, none of that. Okay. Of course, we are invited to do good. We are invited to avoid alcohol, to be vegetarians, all of that. But that doesn't have anything in common with the Pure Land. Even if you are a butcher, even if you're a criminal, even if you are in jail, and we actually have a member here in our Amidaji, which is actually in jail in the United States. Yes, and we also have
who committed a grave crime.
A grave crime, actually.
Stay like 25 years in jail.
Yes, and not like a petty crime, like a grocery store burglary. But actually, yeah, he repented. Now he's not proud of what he did. But however, the name of Amida Buddha saves everybody: the evil, the good, the stupid, the idiot of the village, the wise man, the great bodhisattva. You see, the name of Amida Buddha is the only teaching that doesn't require that you are a great practitioner. Yes. All other Buddhist practices that are based on other power, they require that you practice the three trainings, that you practice wisdom, that you practice meditation, and that you practice sila or morality. You see, okay? There is no way around this. You know, if you don't entrust yourself to the primal vow, then you have to earn maybe you can practice the 19th and 20th vow, but that will only lead you to the borderland. You know. And you have to be very, very careful with those, because you have to be very serious. Because in the case of somebody who thinks that the more they say the Nembutsu, the more chances they have, then they are stressed out all of the time. They have to say Namo Amida Bu, Namo Amida, and they have to say it non-stop. And even until the end of their life, they are not sure if they are going to be born in the Pure Land. Why? Because they think that the name works because of them. They think that Amida Buddha needs that you are very serious and that you have to do crazy stuff to be born in the Pure Land, to deserve to be born in the Pure Land. But actually, nobody deserves to be born in the Pure Land. Not even the high-level bodhisattvas. Nobody deserves to be born there. Amida Buddha is giving that to us for free. It's like the gift of a mother. Yes, a mother gives a candy or gives love and gives a presence to his daughter or son, not because they are good or they deserve it, not because the mother loves the children. So in the same way, Amida Buddha is giving us the Pure Land and Buddhahood, not because we are good, not because we are wise, yes, because we're actually foolish, evil beings. Yes, he's doing that because he has great compassion. You see, it's about Amida Buddha's compassion, not about our capacity or deserving or not deserving. So deserving or not deserving, or our merit or my lack of merit, like destroy that. Put that in, put that and throw it to the sea. That doesn't have anything to do here in Jodo Shinshu. In Jodo Shinshu, we care about Amida Buddha's power to save. Yes. And of course, we try to do our best in our personal lives to be good Buddhists. But even if we fail or if we are successful, doesn't have anything to do with going to the Pure Land. We go to the Pure Land because of Amida Buddha. And Amida Buddha can save anybody. A criminal, a prostitute, a drug addict, an alcoholic, a wise person, a mediocre monk, yes, whoever, Amida Buddha can save everybody on the basis of equality.
No good can surpass the Nembutsu, and no evil can obstruct the Nembutsu. or the name of Amida Buddha. Yes. This is because the name belongs to Amida Buddha, because we are not the owners of Amida's name. That's very important. We don't own the name of Amida. We don't own the merits that are manifested in Amida's name and which will make us be born in the Pure Land. That's why we can't do as somebody said to me, why should I not transfer the merits Amida Buddha gives to me to various things or people? Because you don't own the merits of Amida. The merits of Amida don't belong to you, belong to Amida. They help you to be born in the Pure Land, but they don't belong to you. It's the same with the name. That's why you can't spoil the name. You can't dirty the name, make the name dirty with your thoughts, with your ideas, with your blind passions. Yes, that's why your cause in the Pure Land, cause of birth in the Pure Land is in Amida, not in you. That's why faith coexists with blind passions. You see, that's why blind passions are not an obstacle, because the cause of our birth in the Pure Land is in Amida, because the name belongs to Amida. It's very simple. If we understand this logic of salvation, then we can understand Jodo Shinshu. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Sensei. Yes, I think I remember when I was studying with Joshua Sensei, and he explained it very clear to me. You know, it's like somebody gives you the hand, and you take the hand. That's it.
Yeah.
And you just
Yeah. Remember this, Amida, come. This is you, this Amida, and Amida comes to you, and you accept his salvation. Then he takes you to the Pure Land.
Yeah, it was the simplest thing, but sometimes we have full of clever ideas and we don't understand the simplest stuff.
And this accepting of Amida Buddha's helping hand and allowing to be taken to the Pure Land, this is faith. This is Nembutsu. Yes, this is faith. Yes.
Yes, I think
the expression of faith. Yes.
Yeah, I think that is the beautiful thing, and the miracle of Jodo Shinshu, that everything comes from Amida Buddha. We only have to let ourselves be carried by him, you know.